I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Good evening, everybody. Let's give us a few more minutes, wait for a couple more people to get in here. We promise you, we won't do like what Indy did in Minnesota on Saturday and completely drop the ball. Okay? We're here for you guys. We're here to celebrate. Okay? We got some things to celebrate, but we'll wait for a few more people to get in here. In the meanwhile, make sure that you're commenting. Let us know where you're from. Shoot us your questions. Give us your opinions. All that good stuff. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and we're not going to get started yet. Give about 2 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. All right. Right. All right, and we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome back to Ydkjac Podcast. We're coming to you with everything Colts related. Can't really send anybody, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway because that's just what we do. Oh, we lost Josh, but he'll be right back. But in the meantime, just getting us introduced some of the guys. We have with us Austin Cook, the silent assassin, the man of few words, and somebody who invokes many angry reactions from Titans fans. So, Austin, what's going on with you, buddy?
What's up? Not a lot. I'm Austin Cook.
And then we have with us the birthday boy. Normally we're here on a Tuesday, but you know what? We just like Josh. He had his birthday yesterday. We're just like, you know what? We're gonna let the young man rock, okay? So we have with us Josh Senior. Everybody, Josh Senior.
It's good, everybody. It's good to be back. It's good to have another year around the sun. It's good. It wasn't good what happened on Saturday, but it's good that the Titans are falling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they absolutely have. It's wow, and they're falling in a way where it's just wow. Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna get into all of that. But you know what? Before we do, we're just gonna get to some news coming out of our camp. I'm gonna say, first and foremost, we heard the news. Jonathan Taylor goes on IR. He had another high ankle sprain. I think this was the second one this year. And you know, at this point, I mean, shutting him down was the right thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely was.
There's no need to keep giving him chances to hurt it worse whenever this is already a lost season. So yeah, definitely the right call to shut him down the rest of the year. Get healthy for next year.
Yeah, I mean, he still went over 800 yards, even battling injury, not even having a full season. So, I mean, that just shows you how much they prize exactly like what he's able to do and his talent. Because I mean, you could be like, you know, the Titans, and you see that Derrick Henry is talking about that he might have broken a foot, and then they still have him go in there, rush for 28 yards on, or 68 yards on 28 carries. So, it's just like I think this is probably the best bet for him, just because the running back shelf life is already short. So why even shorten it?
Yeah.
Especially in the lost season. So
I
now
agree.
that wasn't even the most surprising thing that we heard this week. Nick Foles is going to be starting versus the Chargers. I
don't know how to feel about that.
I we'll start with you, Austin, because I'm at a loss for words. Josh said he don't know how to feel. Maybe you can provide us with some insight on why this should make sense.
I mean, like we said, this is a lost season. Matt Ryan is just bad, and I guess you don't want to make him look even worse because he has had a good career. He had a good career with the Falcons. He'll go down as people would know him as a great quarterback, and this season kind of hurt that a little bit. So, might as well just let him just sit it out the rest of the year. And we already gave Sam a shot, so why not give Nick a shot? Show what he has. See if we should bring him back next year or something. I don't know.
Like that, but that's the thing that bothers me, right? Because Nick Foles, he's been in the league for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
What is he getting a shot for? Because when he's been good, he's won a Super Bowl. When he's been bad, he couldn't be quarterback in Jacksonville. Like to me, it's just like the thing that has bothered me all season with this team is that we are the most give so and so a shot that we have been literally all year. And to me, it just doesn't make sense because the thing is, it's just like they said, "Oh, give Gus Bradley a shot" when Frank Reich got fired. Gus Bradley had a shot and he blew it. It's just like it's just been so many different. How can I say this? It's been so many different where we're like, yeah, give this person a shot. Give this person a shot. No, don't give somebody a shot who's already had a shot because they wouldn't be here if the shot that they took was one that was actually like accurate, bullseye on point. Like that's the only thing that makes sense, at least to me, because why are we consistently just trying to give people a shot? Like this season's done. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I do feel your pain, man.
But the thing is, it's just like it's not necessarily a pain. It's just like, are you really just trying to just like blow smoke? Because it doesn't make sense to continuously say let's give this person a shot, this person a shot. The only person who should have had a shot or who was somebody worthy of saying, oh yeah, let's give him a shot, is when they gave Jeff Saturday, and that's just because he had like no NFL head coaching experience.
Right.
But now it's like, why are we so gung ho about everybody just getting an opportunity? It's just like we know who Nick Foles is. He's not that good. I mean, we know who.
Somebody else that I think you could say was okay to give a shot to was Sam Ellinger. He's young and you don't know what you have in him until you play him in a meaningful game. So I was okay with that. But yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make sense that we're starting Nick Foles, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, if he's somebody that you want to have in terms of a backup, then fine. But the thing, like, we know exactly what it needs to be. Next season, we need to just go and get our quarterback because there's no way that this will not be sustainable. I don't care if you bring in a new coach. The problem that you're going to have with having somebody like Matt Ryan is no matter how much of a system you have, no matter how great of a system you have, Matt Ryan's going to be Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's been Matt Ryan for the last 14 years of his career, and it's not going to change. And then he said Nick Foles. Yeah. Wait, isn't Gabriel a Titans fan?
Who?
Gabriel Ruiz.
Yes, he's a Titan fan.
Ryan Tannehill's out for the rest of the year. How dare you laugh at anybody quarterback situation when you have Ryan Tannehill out for the year? I mean, honestly, it's just like guys might actually do better because Ryan Tannehill is not that guy. He's not that guy.
I must speak on this. This topic. The injury bug or injury excuse topic that I have mentioned maybe about an hour or two ago in the group. It seems like now that they're getting hit with injuries the past 2 years with Henry and AJ and some defensive players, and now Tannehill is out possibly for the rest of the year. They all are getting hurt or butthurt about it. Where was this energy when Luck was out 2017 or he retired in 2019? And we had to man up with Jacoby Brissett or Scott Tolzien, and we got our ass handed to. Where is the next man up mentality? Where is that sympathy at during those times? We got laughed at. We got we was a joke for those seasons. Now all of a sudden you guys are feeling the same pain that we have when it comes down to Henry last year, AJ Brown. Y'all remember when T.Y. get hurt? Every time T.Y. get hurt, our season pretty much done because we don't win that game when he's hurt. But it made jokes about that. It made jokes about Paris Campbell being hurt after being on IR after playing 1 or 2 games in a season. Now that they see the same type of things that we went through, the same frustration we went through, the same having to fire the directors of athletics or something like that, had to fire those guys because we suffer a lot of injuries. Now they see the same thing. They don't want to deal with it. They hate when a rabbit has a gun. And it's funny that Titans fans are now whining when they seen it. When it seems like their 3 or 4 game lead in division was almost handed to them, and then now they got hit with the bug at the wrong time. And Jacksonville is now down 1 game behind them.
Yeah,
and they're worried.
Well,
it's crazy.
The thing is, so the thing is with Tennessee, it's a ripple effect. It started with J-Rob. They fired him and thought that he was going to heal everything, and it looks like they've actually gotten worse since then. And now Ryan Tannehill's out for the year. Derrick Henry isn't anywhere near as as explosive as he is. He's still a good runner. He's still a good running back, but he's not anywhere near as effective as he was previously. And now you have to have the rest of your season rely on a rookie that you've seen in action previously. And you have to hope that he'll be able to close out the rest of the season. Whereas, Jacksonville is just like they're hot. They're the hot team right now.
The thing is, the next man up has been a thing for every team. The Niners wouldn't be where they at had they not preached next man up. They're down to their 3rd quarterback and still winning games. So you can't tell me next man up. They've been without Bosa. They've been without, and Debo is hurt now. They've had some injuries. Kittle been hurt. They've been down with some injuries over the past few years and end up being in the NFC Championship. But here we go again. Titans fans whining because the jokes are on them now. All the jokes are on them now. Now everybody making fun of them. Us and now Jacksonville making fun of them. Texan fan making fun of them. So it ain't fun now that they're getting the jokes.
Well, of course, because you also have to understand that this is also a team that's been able to kind of get by with making, I'm going to say, minimal upgrades to the team. And still, basically, they've been the best at putting glitter on tinfoil and saying, "Hey, this is a big prize."
Glitter on shit. Let's say it. Glitter on shit.
I'm not gonna say that because it's a family podcast.
You put it stopped being a fan podcast once we got in this fan base, got in this group with them. It stopped being a family podcast because all the stuff that I have said over the years, over the last few weeks, actually, not years, having this week, all the stuff that had been said, even with JT being, placed on IR, the stuff they said. Stuff that even now with Nick Foles being, starting quarterback, with their quarterback in question right now. Like, how can you make fun of us starting Nick Foles when you guys are 50-50 split with Malik Willis starting?
Well, I mean, this is also a fan base that we're talking about that has like their claim to fame has been them going to the AFC Championship, and since then, I mean, you could say that they've gotten worse. I mean, it's just like they had last year, which was kind of an anomaly. I mean, even the year before that, it's just like, and since then, it's been first round exit after first round exit, and now they're looking at potentially not even going to the playoffs. It's just like you got beat by a Jacksonville team that went into your home, beat you, and now you're going to have to end the season in Jacksonville. So I mean, it's gonna be a different look. But the thing is, it's just gonna be like Jacksonville right now. It's just like they're the team that has the hot hand. And if Tennessee loses again, it's just I think that also puts Jacksonville into another. I'm gonna say that puts them into another complete bracket when it comes to them being able to really just go ahead and just sneak in and steal that fourth seed.
Yeah.
But let's
I
go.
agree.
So then Gabriel says, "Damn, his receipts go back 5 years." He said, "We still winning the division." And then Kyle White on YouTube says, "FDT."
Okay.
What is going on right now? But yeah, so I mean, honestly, it's just like I said, the division's up for grabs between Titans and Jags. If the Jags win this year, the Titans, I'm pretty sure the Titans are going to be back in the basement for a little while because there's no way that you just let the Jags like we're out. Like I don't want to hear it. They put up the scenario saying we can get in if it's just like no, we don't want to get in. No, top five pick. Like
Jags
I don't want to hear
lose the next two, beat the Titans. Titans lose out. We win out. We're in
no.
there.
No, we're not going to win out. And you want to know why we're not going to win out? This is a great segue, by the way. Because of this game versus the Vikings. This game versus the Vikings, it was probably the worst showing that we've had all season. I'm going to say that this was probably worse than
No, it was our
the.
best showing and our worst showing.
Okay, yes. Because we scored 33 points.
In the
And
first half.
Exactly, in the first half. We scored 33 points in the first half. And absolutely nothing for the next 3 quarters, or for the next 2 quarters and overtime. Like I, I don't get it. But while Josh figures this out, just give us a rundown, Austin, of this first half, because I mean, it was a first half that was just absolutely just a masterpiece.
Yeah, so I mean, our defense did what they've done pretty much all year. I mean, other than a few times they've struggled, but like they played really well. And then our special teams got that block punt touchdown. Uh, we forced turnovers. We were doing everything we needed to do on defense. Our offense still didn't do anything, but we were putting up points, and that's the only difference is we were putting up points. But like it was all defense. Still, whenever we were scoring points, it was not really the offense doing well, and that showed in the second half when the defense let off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, it's. I'm gonna say it was a lot, like especially in that first half, but then the second half I think was probably more telling than the first half because we know what our defense has been capable of. We know that the defense can force turnovers. We know that our special teams unit is good. I mean, we were the team that led in turnover differential last year, and we didn't really lose anybody that would cause us to have any type of drop off. And yet here we are. Well, except for Shaq Leonard, of course, because he hasn't been playing. But hold on. He said, with these injuries giving us peace of mind that we aren't making any run to playoffs, we're one and done. It's all bragging rights. You don't have bragging rights. It's not bragging rights. You can't it's like saying that you're the king and while standing on a small hill of dirt. It's just like, what are you the king of? Because it's just not. No. And then he said 1 offensive TD, 5 field goals. It says, you guys said it before, we need to score TDs. And, the biggest thing was that the offense, once again, because even in the first half, with as many turnovers as we saw, that the offense was once again anemic. I mean, we're talking about an offense that once again, Matt Ryan under 200 yards passing. As far as rushing went, Jonathan Taylor, before he got injured, was 24 rushes for 81 yards. And then Michael Pittman Jr. was
Zach Moss's numbers. Jonathan Taylor had like one play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is Zach Moss. I'm sorry, Zach Moss.
No, you're good.
But
Deion did good too.
Yeah, Deion did pretty good. But the thing, but this offense, it's bad. Like, it's bad right now, because the thing is when you look at some of these, Michael Pittman Jr. having 10 receptions for 60 yards, they're running a bunch of curl routes. They're running a bunch of like shallow slant routes. There's nothing that's actually going downfield because screen passes on third down repeatedly. When you saw that it didn't work the first time. Yes, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what's happening? And not just that, but the thing is, with the offense being as bad as it was, that in the second half, that allowed Minnesota to really just go and get back up and get their bearings, because, our defense got all those points in the first half on basically making sure that we had short field, we were able to control the clock, and then all of a sudden it was a collapse. But Josh, from what you saw, like, who's to blame for that second half collapse?
Well, y'all know how I feel about this. Of course, it's offense. It's got to be offense, and got to be, starting with the quarterback. He couldn't complete any good passes to move the chain enough to even get it to put more points on the board. It was again stagnant offense. Especially when you get out your one of your weapons in JT after the first quarter. Like, Austin said that, we still put up points on the board with the defense and building up a 33-0 lead. You still didn't continue to. It's like we played. We was very complacent. We was very conservative. We didn't put more points on the board. We kind of like laid back a little bit. Defense was allowing big plays from that Osborne, number 17.
KJ Osborne,
yeah, he was killing us. And this was without Jetta at one point. I think he was out until halftime.
Yeah, he came out for a little while.
Yeah, and he came back, and then the second half he just went off. Like, he went crazy on Gilmore. This is probably one of Gilmore's worst game as a coach, because he looked embarrassed, got embarrassed, and so, but the offense was just kept 3 and out. And my issue was, I kept telling even Cowboy fan, you can't really blame this collapse on defense when the offense continues to do the same thing they've done all year long. All year long. It was an issue then, an issue now. It's going to be an issue for the next 3 games. The same play calling, everybody's going to game plan for that. It's nothing that's going to scare everybody. Everything is 15 yards in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't convert, hey, guess what? You got to punt the ball and put a defense back on the field that just gave you the ball back.
Yep.
When you got 14 points. No, how many points? We got a block punt for touchdown. We got a pick 6, and then we got some turnovers or turnover on downs that converted to 6 points. And that's not enough. You got to continue going. This team came back from Buffalo. Buffalo and did the same thing. And you guys should have known that, but you didn't. You kept being conservative with those, like you said, those curl routes, those screen passes on third down. It's pathetic. I didn't have any expectations for the rest of the year. I wasn't expecting Jeff Saturday to go out and just change the offense completely. And the same thing with Parks and Frazier. He done a good job, but it's terrible. It's the same offense as Frank Wright. And it looks bad. It's time for a new face. It's time for a new energy. It's time for new everything.
Yeah, everything. That's
So I'm glad that you guys jumped the gun on that one, because that was my next question. Do you bring back Ryan in Saturday?
I would only bring back Saturday if there's a different philosophy for us offense. I will only bring back that. If we're bringing it back with the same thing with Frazier's, count me out.
Okay. What about you, Austin?
So I think this second benching of Matt Ryan should show he should not come back, obviously.
Yeah.
With Jeff Saturday, I think I'd be okay with him coming back in a different role.
Yeah.
I don't know what role, but a different role than head coach. Because I think we need somebody else there. Just my opinion.
What do we want in a head coach, though? You know, I mean, as an organization, as fans, we want, you know, Ben Johnson and so what do we want as a team?
If we're getting a rookie quarterback, I think what we've said before, an offensive-minded head coach would be best. But, I mean, you never know with, like, if D'Amico Ryans came with a rookie quarterback, it might still work out really well. Like, we don't know what he's capable of as a head coach.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to say what my opinion on it is just that, having somebody like a Ben Johnson is going to make life a lot easier because, you know, I'm going to say it's just like going with somebody offensive minded altogether. However, I do want a younger coach. I like Jim Harbaugh, but at the same time, Jim Harbaugh is somebody who, you know, one of the reasons why he left San Fran to begin with was because he's somebody who's very, 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 very persistent, very stuck in his ways when it comes to it. So he butt heads a lot with, you know, upper management and everything. And for me, I think having somebody who's a younger coach is going to be able to change the philosophy and kind of like adapt with the times. You know, the one thing about, you know, Ben Johnson or D'Amico Ryans in terms of those two is the fact that they have systems right now that make them top 10 in what they do currently. So that's with the adapted rules. That's with, you know, the fact that this is more of a passing league now. That's with the fact that now it's just like you're seeing that, you know, the guys coming into the league are stronger. They're faster. You know, I'm going to say they're different than what we've seen. And they've been able to basically they've been able to make systems that make sure that they're still in those top 10s in all those categories that you check off the boxes for because of the fact that it's just like their philosophies make things much easier. So for me, it's just like having somebody like a Ben Johnson, having a younger guy there is going to make life a lot easier for whoever we have coming in at quarterback, whether it be Stroud, Levis, Hooker, Richardson, who knows. But it's going to end up being that we're going to have to have somebody who's offensive minded in order to come in here and just right the ship. And also, let's not act like we don't have a defense that can pretty much self-maintain no matter what it is, because you have guys back there who are going to be able to do it. You know, Gus Bradley, it's just like he has a great core of guys. He has great personnel there. But, you know, the one thing that I see from time to time is the fact that he's very stuck in his ways when it comes to personnel, i.e. Brandon Facetson starting when you see him getting beat like a drum.
Yeah, especially what we saw from Isaiah Saturday. So that's the case in point right there. But the thing is, again, none of this matters. None of this. If, like I said, if we get Jim Harbaugh in there, get whoever get in there, Ben Johnson, Kellen Moore, Ken Dorsey, D'Amico, all those guys, great great pickups. But we still got the guy in front office that's going to hold them back.
Well, I mean, if he's there, because at this point, it's just like it doesn't seem like Chris Ballard is going to end up being there. And if he is, I mean, he knows that this is basically him auditioning to be able to still keep his job.
He don't care, man. I mean, they don't care. I mean, they paid. And he got a new contract, so he's going to get paid whether he does a good job or not. Just like
absolutely.
Frank Wright getting paid $9 million a season for the next 3 or 4 seasons. I think 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not sad. He's paid still.
But you know what? But the thing about it is, it's just like with somebody like Ballard, it has to be, even though you're getting paid, it's also like some pride that goes into that. Because the thing is, it's just like no matter what, you don't like. Right now, he has to watch these games, and he has to see the fact that he didn't improve the O line over the years. He hasn't improved in terms of the pass rush, even though he's went and he drafted pass rush. He drafted Quiddy Pay, then drafted Dayo Adenibo, and the pass rush still needs more guys on it. And it's for nothing else other than the fact that it's just like he hasn't been building the team properly because he said, "Give me all the draft picks, nothing out of free agency," until this year.
So
And I mean, now
how
based
long
on what
was
we've
how long
seen,
is
it's
how
just
long?
like
Huh?
no. I said now it looks like the reason why he did that was because he knew that this year might be one of those years where he has to suck it up.
So how long is it going to take? I mean, this is going to year 7. How long are we supposed to? We got rid of one problem that's been there 5 years. He's or 6 years. He's going on to year 7, and he still has to preach the same philosophy. He had all the picks in the world, drafting good talent, all pro talent, and guys that suck like Ben Johnson. Not Ben Johnson. Ben Vandergoo.
Yeah.
And
Let's also be very transparent about what's been going on too, because as much as we can sit here and say it's just like okay that he's had hits and misses and everything else, it's just like in this 7-year time, there's been one playoff win.
yeah, 2 appearances, 1 playoff win. Yeah, so in 6 years.
Yeah, there's been one playoff win. And this year was probably the worst by far. And yet, they said Ballard gave him a vote of confidence. Okay, I get that. Irsay also did the same thing before, and he's fired people the same year that he's given votes of confidence. So, I mean, a vote of confidence from Jim Irsay probably holds about as much as as a 10-gallon bucket holds that has holes in the bottom. Like, yeah, it looks good, but the thing is, it's there's no way that it's going to be able to hold up at all. But here we're gonna.
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
It's been for how many years now? We have made excuses. We have defended the team, saying, "Hey, Ballard or Price should get another year because they had the less fortunes of quarterbacks. We had to trade for this quarterback. They got to learn a new system. We have made many excuses for the front office and the coach. Okay, coach has been removed. The coach been removed. Now we have a GM. Yeah, now our team never fire a GM mid-season like the Titans have done, but it should be an indication that he has to go with Jim Irsay making all these moves and not him.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have in the chat spoke about this. This is not something that Irsay have done in the 40+ years he's been the owner. And so this is something new, and so the writing should be on the wall. I mean, who knows? Ballard should stay. Ballard possibly would stay, but I don't know, man. I don't think we get better. I don't think and I'm not afraid about him making the right choices for his draft pick in the first round. It's just the fact that his philosophy is going to be the same. It's the free agency before the draft. There is a free agency before the draft. And we're going to have how many million? 60 million plus maybe with the increase. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to try to find something that's kind of bargain. Oh, let me go to get this cornerback from the Steelers. He's been in the league 11 years and he still got it.
Yeah.
And the stuff like we can't do that. Not saying those were wrong pickups, but we don't know the guy. We don't know the guy. We don't, we're trying to hit on guys like, Mike Mitchell. We got him a couple years ago. It worked out, but Mike Mitchell was past his prime. Mike Adams, remember him? He was past his prime. We just picking up guys past their prime, thinking, and I'm not gonna say Stephon Gilmore past his prime. He had an excellent year this year. But we're not putting the best product on the field, best players on the field. People say that's the defense coordinator job, but obviously the ownership is not saying, hey, put Isaiah on the field. He deserves a shot. They're not saying that. There's a way to override that. We know that Gus is an old head coach and stuck in his ways, but there's somebody, as a coaching staff, can you not see the difference when Isaiah is in versus face ass? Because I'm calling face ass. There's a big difference, and you're not putting the guy in the best position to succeed. He's still on the bench. He's not even in the special teams anymore. Like, this is how bad the man is off the field, period. And the only time he's in is because of an injury.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we got some comments, and then we're going to kind of go back to that a little bit. So Mike says, hey there. He says, we just need to wait and get DTR and we'll be good.
I don't know who that is.
Dontarius Terrell Ramarius? I don't know. That's not even a real person. Josh agrees. Right. Honestly, if we can, it might be D'Amico Ryans. And if we can get the line and QB situation fixed, I feel we will be fine. We are not a bottom team like the Jaguars were. Yeah, Ballard has to go. Irsay gave him a vote of confidence. Ballard got there first, and I thought Ballard should have gone first too. And ain't no way in hell you bring him back, Matt Ryan back. He's done. So I'm going to say it's just like we could fix the O-line, but the thing is, it's not going to change the situation at quarterback because let's just say, right, Matt Ryan decides to retire before he's due. I think he's due $37 million next year.
Yeah.
If he retires before he's due $37 million, that's $37 million extra in cap, which means that let's just say if you figuratively have $60 million in cap, now you have $97 million. So now you can literally re-sign everybody and still go into free agency and then still have stuff available. But the thing is, you got to run into the same issue that you ran into last time, where teams aren't going to want to go there. Teams aren't going to want to, go to a team that, once again, it's just like it's having a QB issue because of the fact that they're just like, okay, it's not going to work. I mean, in hindsight, Jarvis Landry could have chose to, go with us instead of the Saints, and he probably would have been doing better than he's doing right now. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Because as of right now, I mean, we have to go into the draft and not do what we've done where we just trade down, because to me it's just like when you're trading down the way you are, that means that your team is in a good spot and these picks are just a luxury. These aren't luxury picks. I mean, it's just like when you're trying to get extra 5th and 6th round picks and your 5th and 6th round picks aren't staying around, then there's an issue.
There's no reason for that. There's no reason to trade down a 3rd or 4th round so you can get more picks in the 6 and 7, knowing that those guys are not starting. I mean, how many games did Mike Strong started yet? How many games did Mike Patman started yet? I mean, Desmond Patman started yet?
Yeah, I mean, they've only started when there's injuries involved.
Right.
So
but even when they're healthy, they can't get on the field.
Yeah, and that's kind of telling too. So I mean, it's not sustainable. It doesn't make sense. But I mean, I think that's where we are right now. I think we're all just kind of looking to get like that top 5 pick in the draft so that we can get our quarterback. We can have our coach, at this point, it's just like, just look into the offseason, because right now it's just like the season is wrecked. Like it's a mess. And that's just where we are. And you know what? I'm going to save us all of this, because guess what? We've seen exactly what the team does. We're going to be great defensively. We're going to be bad offensively. The defense can only hold us up for so long and then do that. But are we going to see anything different versus the Chargers team this time? Austin, are we?
Yeah, we're going to see something different. We're going to see Nick Foles under center.
You're a maniac. I just want to let you know that. You're an absolute maniac. But yeah, what about you, Josh? Just surprise me, man.
Before we get into that, as a comment by Ryan Brotons, you can put it up.
Yeah.
And that's I want to speak on that, or one of you guys can speak on it.
Oh, so both Reich and Ballard were screwed once Luck retired. Why not give Ballard the opportunity to draft his young QB? Are we going to get a better GM, and if so, who? Okay. All right. Anybody
wanna
else
take
want to
it?
take it before I do it? Yeah, go ahead, Austin. Go ahead, Austin, because I need. Yeah.
So Andrew Luck retired in what, 2019,
Correct.
2018, 2018.
2018?
2019.
2019 season.
Okay. He's had a couple drafts to have his chance to get a young quarterback,
Mhm.
and he hasn't done it. He's had his chance in free agency to show he can spend money, and he hasn't. He hasn't made the team better. When AC retired, we didn't fix that left tackle spot. He's proven time and time again he's not the GM that we all thought he was.
All right, my
Yeah.
turn. My turn.
Go ahead, Josh.
Say the best for that for you, Chris. I'm going to add on to what Austin said. He had how many years? Since 2019, he retired. We had Brissett, we had Rivers, Wentz, and now Matt. That's 4 seasons with a different quarterback.
Mhm.
And he drafted 2 quarterbacks, Sam Ehlinger and Jacob Eason. Sam
Mhm.
Ehlinger's the only one that's on the team. Jacob was cut the year later.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be good in college from Washington, but we didn't keep him. So that should tell you that too.
Yeah.
And like I said, Brissett, he signed him to a 2-year, $30 million deal. He plays contract. He plays contract up. He played till his contract was up, but he's gone. Rivers retired. Wentz,
Mhm.
you trade him a year later after we had 98% chance of making the playoffs. So you said, "No way, I'm done."
Mhm.
Now you co-sign for Matt Ryan, who was almost was going to get traded if they had they not signed Deshaun Watson, traded for Deshaun Watson. Just to tell you, all these things that we're doing is leading by Chris Ballard. So he has the chance to do these things, and he's failed, including, like you said, the left tackle been an issue. He let go Reed. He's a good guard. Let him go. Glow was a good guard. You let him go, and he got a less contract with the Giants. I feel like we've been signing a pass rusher since he's been the GM, and we still ain't good in pass rushers. Still not good at pass rushing. Linebacker has been our strongest point since he took over. The secondary has been okay, but we're getting by based off having these pieces. You know, he drafted Pittman, he drafted JT, and drafted Leonard, drafted Nelson, drafted Brady Smith. But what else has he done? Why is only equated to 1 playoff win and 2 playoff appearances in his tenure as a GM?
Yeah.
Ask yourself that, Ryan. Is he going to get better next year? Giving him a chance to draft a quarterback and see what he can do. Will it get any better with the new head coach? If his philosophy is still the same during free agency, get the third guy on third wave of free agency, skip the first 2. We could have traded for quarterbacks. We could have. Good luck. Yeah, good thing we didn't get Russell Wilson and possibly not Derek Carr, but we could have traded for guys, and we said no. We're gonna go ahead and let's go get the guy that's 37 years old from Atlanta, and trade for him, and then we're going to restructure his contract, adding more money on his deal, and now he sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask yourself that, Ryan. I mean, I'm not bashing you for your comments to the question, but we've seen enough. We've seen enough. Like, we've seen enough with Ryan Grigson. We've seen enough with Chris Ballard. It is time for a new face, a new philosophy, because we can't keep making excuses for the misfortune that we're having every year after the season when we're trying to get in the playoffs or we miss a playoff. We're saying, okay, we could have done better. We added this receiver or this cornerback or this running back, this tight end, this left tackle, this linebacker. We say this every year. We say this every single year. Why is the play calling it's not like this? You know, why is it this bad? We say this every year. We let our coach go. It's on the thing that it's on the right to let our GM go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So this is a little bit layered. I'm gonna say Andrew Luck was good enough to be able to hide the fact that we were a team that was good, and Andrew Luck could pretty much do what he wanted given what he had. Now, of course, once he was done for, once he was ready for retirement, it's just like, yeah, it was abrupt. But the thing is, we're talking about the fact that we're 4 years into this, and Ballard has had the opportunity to draft this QB. There was a on one of the press conferences during the offseason. I don't believe it was this year. I think it was last year, where he said, once you talk about getting the he said once you talk about getting a young QB, that kind of starts the clock. And somebody wanted him to specify, and it's just like it starts the clock on how you're supposed to be going about it, because once you draft a young QB, then at that point it's just like you're officially on the clock in terms of you having to officially have to compete, because then that means that you're going and that you're paying for somebody who you're going to have for at least the next 3 to 4 years. If it pans out, then that means that you now have somebody who's your franchise quarterback. If it doesn't, that means that you'll be picking again soon. So to me, it's just like that was a cop out. Now, the reason why I say it's a cop out is because of the fact that he's had veterans ever since Jacoby Brissett.
Hmm.
So when you have Philip Rivers was an on-field general. He knew how to run the offense by himself. So as Frank Reich, all you have to do is sit there, hold the clipboard, and say, "Go ahead, do what you got to do." Now the thing is, the news with Carson Wentz was that, oh yeah, he's good. He just needs to get his confidence back. Why is he getting paid over $20 million a year to get his confidence back? If you need to go to confidence, and I don't mean to make light of this, if you need confidence, you need to possibly go ahead and talk to somebody off the field to go ahead and deal with that. But the thing is, it's just like, why are we in charge of rebuilding a damaged QB? And then finally we go on to Matt Ryan, and it's like we've had 3 separate chances to draft a QB in this time, and we just have not. So, I think it's just like this all falls on Ballard because of the fact that he had chances to do what he needed to do. He's never traded up in the draft. Let's remember, he never traded up. He always trades down, but he never traded up.
Well, he did trade up for JT and Nick Cross.
Oh, JT and Nick Cross. I'm sorry. So he traded up for JT. He traded up for Nick Cross.
And
But
Julian Blackman, I think. I can't
yeah,
quote me on that.
and the thing is, I think in the draft, I think he traded down for Rocky Sin when he had Montez Sweat there,
Hmm.
which means that he took a cornerback instead of an edge rusher that he could have also, gone and did what he was supposed to do. Now, once again, having quarterbacks that are good, that know what they're doing, that can go on the field, can diagnose defenses, and are basically on field generals, it's rare. But the thing is, they make a coach and a GM's job that much easier, because Philip Rivers had tells. One of his favorite receiving targets was Nyheim Hines, because Nyheim Hines was the new Darren Sproles. And then, of course, he was going to throw to the tight ends and Michael Pittman Jr., because, Philip Rivers spent his whole career throwing to guys like Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates, Keenan Allen, who's 6'2", throwing to guys who were, of course, taller guys who can go up and get the ball. So we knew what we were getting. The thing is, year in and year out, Ballard has had the opportunity to do what he needed to do. He could have been aggressive in the draft and traded up to get certain quarterbacks that were available. It was possible that he could have just gone ahead and said, you know what, I'll use a couple of these extra picks that I have here. Let's trade up and get Justin Fields, because there was reports that he wanted Justin Fields. But the thing is, he wasn't willing to go ahead and do it the same way he's not willing to pony up money in free agency to go get guys.
Didn't they say the same thing with we could have got Jordan Love and Justin Herbert?
So, well, yeah, we could have got Justin Herbert, but the thing, so I want to say it's just like, yes, we could have had Justin Herbert, but at the same time, I think the return on investment with DeForest Buckner was worth the pick that we traded for. Like, if DeForest Buckner was just absolute garbage, I'd say that was the worst trade ever. That was definitely not anywhere close to the first round pick for Trent Richardson that Grigson did. Like, that was nowhere near that. But in terms of the actual team, like I said, he's been able to get by. and he's been able to just like kind of get through like skin of his teeth because of the fact that he's he knows now it's just like he's going to have to draft he's going to have to draft a QB. Now if he sticks around, he ain't no trading down, because you can't say, what's he going to say? Oh, Bryce Young was taken number 1. We can't get our guy. We can trade down and then possibly see what else we can get. No, you can't do that, because now it's just like you see what this is with the team. This team is what 4-9-1.
Mm-hmm.
This team is 4-9-1, and our offense is doing absolutely nothing. And the common denominator is the fact that the O-line, which you didn't rebuild, and the quarterback, which you have not invested in other than taking on other QB's contracts, they haven't done anything. So as of right now, if you're Chris Ballard, you have to. You're either going to be there and you're going to draft in that top 5 the way that you're supposed to, or you're going to end up, leaving that to the next GM. Now, if we're talking about another GM, we could go Ed Dawes. We could go Louis Riddick. Those are 2 guys that I think would be able to see, who know exactly what's going on. I think Ed Dawes was somebody who was out there last season, he just decided that he was going to stick around. But if Ballard's out, I think it's just like Dawes would be like next in line to do exactly what he needed to do. I like Riddick. I like, everything that he sees in terms of, this team and exactly what would need to be done. And then also, It's the one of the most important things is going to be who your head coach is going to be that you hire.
If we interview guys from, like, let's say, like the Lions, their guys over there, then naturally they probably bring over Ben Johnson. So it depends on what team. We're all moving on from GM, and we're interviewing guys to GM from different teams like the Niners. And of course, they're going to want to bring in D'Amico Ryan. So it's going to be a package thing, possibly. I can't guarantee that, but it's a possibility that could happen.
Yeah. And, and I think at this point, nothing's off the table, because everything that Ballard has preached against doing has gotten us to this point. So I think he knows what he needs to do, but he just doesn't want to do it because it kind of bucks the trend of him talking about, oh, this team, we're still a piece or 2 away. It's just like we've had pieces. Every year we're missing something, and then you barely address it, and then we're missing something else. And that just can't continue to be the case. But then we have one more comment from Ryan, and then we're going to be out of here. Max Dugan, Will Levis, or Stroud? Stroud.
No, definitely not Max. But I would take Levis or Stroud. Either or.
I'm taking Stroud and then Dugan over Levis.
Yeah, I'm taking Stroud, and then Hendon Hooker season still upon us. So let's just get that out of the way now. Yep.
I'll take Bryce in. Since y'all doing that, I'll take Bryce.
Of course you are, because you're a Bama
Bryce.
homer. You're a Bomer.
Bryce is short. He's 5'11". No way.
He's 6 foot.
Short kings are good too.
No, X Kyler Murray. That don't work.
Because Kyler Murray's like 5'8".
Yeah, and short as hell. And he's still a pro, but he just.
Hey, somebody, what's funny? Somebody said that Kyler Murray looks like the type of kid that steals your snack and runs away.
Yeah, I can see it.
When he's scrambling on the field, I was like, yep, I see it. That's awful and true.
But, do you guys want to win the game next week on Monday night?
No.
Get voted out?
No.
Okay.
Why would we want to win that? Like, what are we doing here?
Because I know you said, I think you said something like breakdown or something like that of the game.
I said we're not breaking it down, because I think we all know that we just don't care to win it. Like, what's the point of breaking it down? Our team consistently, we can call the game right now. Our defense will come out firing. They'll be able to get some stops early on. The offense will be doing just enough to be able to possibly get in the field goal range. We're going to keep it close, and then boom, end of the second quarter, beginning of the second half, they just pull away.
So it's going to take off, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Nick Foles is going to lead us to a Super Bowl, actually.
Every quarterback every quarterback that's not in the playoffs is going to be led to the Super Bowl. I mean, Ryan Tannehill going to do the same thing.
Hooker and Bryce will be gone. I'm not addressing any of you guys. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm sick. I'm especially sick of Austin because he keeps on saying those two curse words to me, and I'm just like, why do you keep on saying this? He keeps on saying Super Bowl.
I doubt Hooker be gone though. I
don't think Hooker will be gone.
Especially if we're picking top 6, top 10. I doubt he's gone by 10.
Yeah,
past us.
No, he's not yet. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, so
I kind of want to get him so we can piss off Titan fans.
Yeah, and then they'll end up getting Max Dugan, and then he's gonna be trash. I don't see it. I just don't see Max Dugan. I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. But either way, we are gonna get out of here because we're gonna roll up out of here. In the meantime, people, I'm gonna say, hey, well, actually, no, because this weekend is Christmas weekend, so we're actually
off.
Yes, so yes. Oh, you're off this weekend?
No, we're off. We're gonna take a break next week.
What you mean?
No, I'm messing with you.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm
we
messing
can't
with you.
take a break whenever we get our first win in a long time.
We need it. But
for that Super Bowl run.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Listen. Once we have secured the 5th overall pick in the draft, we'll have a week off for that.
We're gonna drink up. We're gonna celebrate him.
Stay
Bet your
hydrated.
ass. Yes.
Yeah.
Kyle says I always want a W. So do I, but they come very seldom these days. So as far as I'm concerned, just let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. But hey, listen, in the meantime, guys, tell the people where to find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right. And Josh, where can the people find you?
Not that I want them to because they're annoying, but you can find me on Twitter. Yeah,
Don't talk to the fans like that. Don't talk to the fans like that.
Well, the ones that are not Coast fans that are annoying. Coast fans, you can follow me all day, every day. I love you guys, but the ops, no, I don't love you guys.
Oh, the ops. It's only for the ops.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Uh-oh. We got Matty B.
What up, fellas?
Oh,
There he is.
What's going on?
What's going on? I just
Guest
got
appearance.
done recording the Texans fan battle, so I figured, we're crying, y'all are crying, we cry together. So
Hey, nothing wrong with crying together.
Listen, we just got done with our therapy session, so it's only fitting that you come in here.
Hey, it's all about that battle of the number one pick. We won it, y'all won it.
This is really crazy because
y'all still gonna take Bryce Young.
I'm okay with it. Like, I mean, do I want it? Not really, but I'll take it. I'd rather go defense and get Will Anderson or Jaron Collier, but
I know because Caleb Williams is the prize.
I mean, I would. There's so many variables. Is like the Jets last year. They wanted Trevor Lawrence, and look at what happened to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would love to have him, but I just want to build that defense because the defense sucks.
Yeah, defense is.
And if you trade to the Lions, who want C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, trade back, get another one, a number 6 draft pick, and 2 more number 1s. Do it.
But I mean, do you see the Lions being that aggressive, being that they've actually been successful with the team they have right now?
Yes. It has been voiced that they're not a fan of what's his face? I want to keep saying Matt Stafford, but Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he's been playing pretty good, but he's also had a couple key turnovers,
What's his contract details?
Kind of like Matt Ryan. Expensive.
They're still on the hook for money for him for the next year. So
yeah, expensive.
Okay.
So he'll be an expensive backup unless they can pull a Carson Wentz type trade, get a second
nobody's
round.
gonna take Matt Ryan. Nobody gonna take Matt Ryan.
No, not Matt Ryan. I was talking about Jared Goff.
Jared
I know,
Goff.
but yeah, nobody gonna take Matt Ryan.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I got you.
Matt Ryan's mama wanted to take Matt Ryan. Like,
Oh, his wife.
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, once again, because it was Josh's birthday yesterday, and then it was Matt's birthday on Monday. So
The
happy
day before
birthday
that.
again.
So yeah,
Yes.
we got to turn up. We got to turn up next year, Matt. Since our days are a day apart.
Yes, sir. Hey, maybe the Colts play in Indianapolis, and we can fly down there, and
we can start setting that up now because next year is not going to be not nearly as depressing as this year.
I hope
look,
not.
I've been telling y'all like the Texans are gonna suck. I don't know what happened to the Colts. I actually had them winning the division, but like always, y'all find a way to fuck it up for me.
Everything happened. So
Like,
yes, but
as long as the Titans don't win it, I'm here for it. That's anybody.
I'm with you on that one. That makes sense. But Matt, we were actually doing our outros, so tell the people where to find you on Twitter.
Oh, perfect time. You find me at Crying Texans fan. No, A1 Day One Texans, and you also catch me and my co-host Crenshaw and BT on Wednesday nights at 8:00 Eastern or 9:00 Eastern. Texans fan battle. You like you do here. We cry a lot. And comfort
week
each other,
18, we need to have all of us on the podcast.
Let's do it. We'll set it up.
Let's do it. All right. I'm down. And you can find me on Twitter at CJ Colts fan. Make sure that you go to at YDKJAC podcast. Make sure that you go on there, follow us for updates. And but we'll be back next Wednesday. Make sure you tune into AFC South Fan Battle Podcast on Tuesday, since the Colts will be playing. Well, I'm not gonna say playing, since we'll be getting shellacked on Monday in the second half. So just make sure that you stay tuned. Other than that, people, hey, have a happy holiday, and we will see you next week. Or a Merry Christmas. There you go. Merry Christmas. My son hates that, but he's just going to have to deal with it. So Merry Christmas, people.